For me, if you notice a little bit of my economic background here, I came from the lower classes, and so the number one problem I'm trying to solve is, if there was a one issue, economic inequality. I find that to be the source of crime, to be the source of environmental devastation, to be the source of every problem that exists in our society. This is what entrepreneurs are supposed to do. They're supposed to say, hey, this is the problem that exists, and this is our solution to that problem. And that's normally products. Hey, people don't like waiting 15 minutes for a cab, so if we just give everybody the right to be their own cab, we can start a company called Uber. So the problem existed, people don't like to wait. The solution is we can create efficiencies with applications and with a multiplicity of drivers. The problem I like to solve is societal, right? What are these big problems in society? And instead of going, man, those are so damn big, there must never be a solution, I've said, fuck that. There's a solution to every problem I've ever encountered in entrepreneurship, therefore there's a solution to this. And it was going down that road and doing root cause analyses that gave us this business model. You can actually understand where all these problems in society come from. And like I say, they actually come from poverty. They come from a lack of opportunity. So the number one thing we can do, outside of education, which I think is a big part of that, is really creating business opportunities. Let me give you another sense of that really quickly. Has anyone heard of Stone Brewery? They're the biggest brewery in San Diego. They're definitely the biggest brewery in all of Southern California. The founder of that company got started with a $500,000 check from his father. That company now does $200 million plus in revenue. Over a 20-year horizon, they grew to that level. I'm slightly jealous, but I'm not. Guess what? After that $500,000 check from Daddy, they were not making money. They ran out of money. Guess who wrote another gigantic check? Dad. Stone Brewery, in my opinion, barely deserves to exist. Barely. For the entrepreneurs like myself who know what it is to day in and day out grind and struggle and bleed for no pay whatsoever, we have no respect for people like, I don't want to name them, people like the founder of Stone Brewery because of how easy he had it. I don't care how talented he was, how smart he was given that fucking money from his dad. And that's how wealth is concentrated in our society. I'm giving that example to show what happens when you have a family worth tens of millions of dollars and they give their kids money. It's not meritocracy. They did not deserve, they did not earn that money. Their parents may have, but they didn't. That is how, in the last 10 years, there's been an even higher concentration of wealth than before the recession. When the recession happens, guess what's going to happen? All the wealthy families and all the wealthy people out there are going to buy low and they'll wait to sell high, and they'll do it again. And all the economic base of the lower and middle classes will be ruined, and that wealth will be transferred to the upper classes. This is by design. I hate to break it to you. This is not accidental. This is where the theory of Marxism started to come into play 200 years ago. It's recognizable in the system itself. It concentrates wealth. Every economist who knows anything about capitalism will say, yeah, that's fine. And then they say, well, then you have government come in to regulate it in order to put some reins on that. But the reality is, Karl Marx saw it, I see it. When the concentration of wealth goes as far as it has today, it will result in one thing and one thing only: the laboring class, the working class, pitchforks. Now, I'm really the embodiment of that. I don't have a pitchfork in my hand, but I've promised everyone I've ever spoken to and myself that I will not operate out of that bad paradigm. I want to make sure if people start companies, they deserve to have those companies. And those companies shouldn't exist for themselves. They should exist for us, for the community, for everyone.